Hello everybody, it is great to see you on this beautiful Monday morning. I hope that you had an amazing time during our web call this morning with Miss Gabby and our special guest. I hope that you enjoyed having your stuffed animals and listening to our story. And I just want you to know that I'm so excited for our video today. Because it's Monday, because it's a brand new week, we get to do something new and exciting with our stories today. Last week, we spent our story time thinking about making predictions. So we used what we already knew to guess what was going to happen next in our stories. Now that we've gotten so good at that, we get to do something a little bit different with our stories today. We get, this week, to compare and contrast our stories. Have you heard those words before? They're big and tricky words. I don't expect that you guys have heard them a lot outside of school. We say compare. Can you say compare? Compare and contrast. Contrast. Compare and contrast. An easier way to say compare and contrast is to say that we're going to think about how our stories are the same and different. So when we compare our stories, we think about how they're the same. And when we contrast our stories, we think about how they're different. I even made a beautiful brand new chart for us over here that talks about comparing, thinking about how they're the same, and contrasting, so thinking about how they're different. When we read two stories today, or take a look at two stories today, we're going to use this part of the chart to write all the ways that they are the same. And then we're going to use this side of the chart to think about all the ways that they are different. But to practice before we get to our story time, I want you to think of the answer to a special question. Can you compare home and school for me? Compare means thinking of ways that they are the same. So you think of something that's the same about home and school. What's something that's the same? It's both at home and at school. Let's close your eyes and think about it really quick. Home and school, what could be the same? Well, let's think for a second. I know that we eat lunch at home. Do we eat lunch at school? Yeah, so that's something that's the same when we compare them. I know that we have grown-ups who love us at home. Who loves you at home? Who's a grown-up that loves you at home? Yeah, and we have grown-ups who love us at school. Who loves you at school? Your teachers do, like Mr. Zachary and Miss Gabby, and Miss Cox, and Miss Belser, and Mr. Herrera, and Mr. Segura, and Mr. Hine, and all the rest of your teachers. Do you have something that's the same about home and school? What's something that's the same? Absolutely right, my friends. That is such a great idea. I can help you think of a couple more. Like I said when I was thinking, we eat breakfast at home, and we eat breakfast at school. That's something that's the same. We eat lunch at home, and we eat lunch at school. That's something that's the same. We have grown-ups who love us at home, like our family members and our friends, and we have grown-ups who love us at school, like our teachers. That's something that's the same. Do you use toys at home? Do you use toys at school? That could be another one. That's something that's the same. When we thought of all those things that were the same, we compared home and school. We compared all the ways that they were the same, just like how we're going to compare the books that we read today. You ready to do some gross motor time and get some of these wiggles out? You go find a spot where you have plenty of space to dance, and I will zoom the camera back out and go ahead and start our song.
You say what I say right after me. You move like I move, just follow me. Let's have lots of fun, play this way. Play with words. words, I call it wordplay. Repeat after me and move. March, 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 march. Mm-hmm, march. Mm-hmm, march. Mm-hmm, march. Mm-hmm, march. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Turn, 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 turn. Jump, 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 jump. Jump, 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 bop, 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 disco, 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 disco. Play with words, I call it wordplay.
Good job, everybody. That song is
If you
a little
like this
goofy,
video,
but it helps
be
us
sure to
remember
give it a
listen to the
thumbs
first
up
sounds
and
that
leave me a
words make.
comment below.
Remember when
For
we
more
talked about our
songs
letter
on
of the
numbers
week?
and
We
counting,
learned
check
about
out my CD,
A,
Everyone
we
Counts,
learned about
on my website,
B,
jackhartman.com.
like
Click on any of the video boxes to see
ball.
more fun
Every single
educational
word has a
videos.
letter at the
Also,
beginning that makes
visit
a certain
jackhartman.com,
sound. And
like
that
my
song
page on
helps us listen
Facebook,
to them
and
think
follow me
about them
on
as we dance.
Pinterest.
Let me move
And
back this
remember,
way.
click on
We'll take a couple
subscribe
deep
to
breaths
get
before we do our
updates
story,
on new
okay?
videos as I add them to my
Fabulous.
YouTube channel.
Let's go ahead and do our normal deep breaths today. And we will do 4 of them. Number 1, breathe in. Breathe out. Number 2, breathe in. Breathe out. Number 3, breathe in. Breathe out. And here's our last one. Number 4, breathe in. Breathe out. Good work, everybody. I hope that you were relaxed and ready to compare and contrast some stories. Now, do you remember when I asked you at the beginning of the video to compare home and school? So we found things that were the same between home and school. We are going to compare 2 stories today. So we're going to take a look and figure out things that are the same and different about this book, which is called what? The Kissing Hand. We've read it so many times. You guys are experts on it. And a brand new book that we haven't read before called Guess How Much I Love You. Now, let's remember the Kissing Hand really quick. We remember that in the Kissing Hand, Chester Raccoon has to go to school. But does he want to go to school? No. He wants to stay with his mom. He's so sad that he has to go to school. But his mom gives him a special idea called the Kissing Hand. She kisses his hand and she says, every time you put your hand up to your cheek, you can just whisper, Mommy loves you, and you'll feel so much better. Chester learns that even when he goes to school, his mom will be with him all the time. He even gives her the kissing hand before he leaves. Then he runs off to school, his mommy says bye, and she goes home and thinks about how much Chester loves her. That's the Kissing Hand, my friends. And today, we're going to read this new story, Guess How Much I Love You. As we read it, I want you to be thinking super hard about things that are the same between this book and The Kissing Hand, and things that are different. How is this book the same as The Kissing Hand, and how is it different? It's going to be a little bit tricky at first, but we will talk through it as soon as we're done with the book, okay? Just make sure you're being really good listeners and trying to think and pay attention, and then we'll be all set. Okay, my friends? Let's go ahead and start. Guess How Much I Love You, written by Sam McBratney and illustrated. What does illustrated mean? The pictures. There you go. By Anita Jerome. Guess. Oops, hit the camera. Guess how much I love you. Little Nut Brown Hair, who was going to bed, held on tight to Big Nut Brown Hair's very long ears. He wanted to make sure that Big Nut Brown Hair was listening. Guess how much I love you, he said to Big Nut Brown Hair. Oh, the big hair said, I don't think I could guess that. This much, said the little baby rabbit. He stretched out his arms as wide as they could go. Big Nut Brown Hair stretched out his arms. They were even longer. But I love you this much, he said. Little Brown Hair said. That is a lot. I love you as high as I can reach, said Little Nut Brown Hair, stretching his arms way up high. I love you as high as I can reach, said Big Nut Brown Hair. He stretched his arms even taller. Look at how Little Nut Brown Hair is stretching. He's kind of tiny, right? Because he's just a baby. And then Big Nut Brown Hair comes. Ooh, he's so tall. Baby Nut Brown Hair said, that is really, really big. I wish I had arms like that. Then Baby Nut Brown Hair had a good idea. He tumbled upside down and he reached up the tree trunk with his feet. I love you all the way up to my toes, he said. And I love you all the way up to your toes, Big Nut Brown Hair said, and he swung his baby up into the air. I love you as high as I can hop. Said Little Nut Brown Hair as he bounced up and down. But I love you as high as I can hop, said Big Nut Brown Hair, jumping all the way up so high that the tips of his ears touched the tree. Wow, said Little Nut Brown Hair. That is some good hopping. I wish I could hop like that. I love you all the way to the river, Little Nut Brown Hair says. I love you across the river, said Big Nut Brown Hair, and all the way over the tops of the hills. That is far, said Little Nut Brown Hair. He had been thinking so hard that he was getting sleepy. He yawned and looked beyond the thorn bushes into the night. Nothing, he thought, could be farther than the sky. I love you all the way up to the moon, the baby said, as his daddy rocked him to sleep. That's far, said Big Nut Brown Hair. That is very, very far. Big Nut Brown Hair sat Baby Nut Brown Hair into his bed of leaves. He leaned over and kissed him good night. Then he lay down and he whispered with a smile, Baby Nut Brown Hair, I love you all the way to the moon and back. The end. Thank you for the story. Thank you very much. Woohoo! Oh, my friends, I love that story so much. It gets me choked up how much I love that book. It's so sweet. Let's think about all the things that happened in this story. Who are some of the characters? The baby nut brown hair and his what? His daddy, the big nut brown hair. That's right. And they were talking all through the book about how much they love each other. How much they love each other. Now, I want to start to compare and contrast this book with this book. Let's think about all the ways Guess How Much I Love You is the same as The Kissing Hand. But to do that, let's come on over here and we'll take a look at our compare and contrasting chart. All right, so on this side, we're going to write all the things, remember, that are the same. So let's start thinking about those. What is something about Guess How Much I Love You that's the same as The Kissing Hand? I can see something already. Look at the pictures. What's the same? Both of these books are about animals. So I can write that right here. They are about animals. And I'll make a bunny for Guess How Much I Love You. And I'll make a raccoon for The Kissing Hand. Both of these stories are about, let me see if I can move it just a little bit so we can see. Both of them are about animals. What's another thing that's the same? We know in The Kissing Hand, Chester talks with his mama. And in Guess How Much I Love You, baby nut brown hair talks to his daddy. Both of these books are about moms and dads. So I can write that right here on my chart. Moms and dads. Both of these stories, and I'll make a little person like a baby and a big person like a parent. Both of these stories are about parents and how much parents love their babies. What's something else that's the same? We'll think of one more thing. What is this behind them? In The Kissing Hand, what is this big thing behind them? It's the moon. The moon only comes out at nighttime. And do you remember in the end of Guess How Much I Love You? When he's going to bed and he gets sleepy, 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 what does he see in the sky? The moon. So it must be what time? Nighttime. Both of these books end at night. So I'll write night, and I'll draw a little picture of the moon so we can remember. All right, friends, bring it over here so you don't have to see the setting. Perfect. So we know that 3 ways that they're the same are that they both are about animals, they both are about parents, moms and dads, and how much they love their babies, and they both happen at night. Now let's think of ways that they are different. How are these stories different? Let's start by looking at the covers. How are these different? Amazing! What type of animal is this here? Raccoon! And what type of animal is this? A bunny or a hare. Nut brown hair, that's right. So we know that The Kissing Hand, I'm going to say TKH. The Kissing Hand is about raccoons. I'll draw a little raccoon. His nose. Guess How Much I Love You, I'll put a heart right here for that, is about bunnies. That's something that's different about them. Because even though they are both about animals, they're about different kinds of animals. One is about raccoons, and one of them is about bunnies. What's something else that's different? Where does Chester go in Guess How Much I Love, or in The Kissing Hand? Where does he go to? He ends up going all the way to school with all the other animals. Does baby nut brown hair go to school in this book? No, he just goes to sleep. So, we know that another way that they're different is that in the kissing hand, which I'll just write right here, Chester goes to school. So I can draw a school building just like the ones that we drew in our classroom. Little windows, there's a flag on top, there's a door. He goes to school. But in Guess How Much I Love You, he doesn't go to school. Our baby bunny just goes to sleep because he's super tired. That's something that's different. In the kissing hand, we go to school, but in Guess How Much I Love You, he does not go to school. He just goes to sleep. Awesome job, my friends. We compared and found ways that they're the same. 1, 2, 3 ways that they're the same. They both are about animals. That's the same. They both are about parents, moms and dads, and their babies. That's the same. And they both happen at nighttime. That's the same. And we found ways that they are different. 1, 2 ways that they're different. They're about different kinds of animals. And one of these books has school, but the other one does not. It just has sleep. Good job, my friends. I hope that kind of showed you how to use our compare and contrast chart. If it's still a little confusing, that's absolutely fine. We're going to keep doing it every single day for the rest of this week, so we will get good practice. I hope that you really enjoyed that story. It's one of my all-time favorites, and I can't wait to keep reading new stories and comparing and contrasting with you. For our at-home activity today, we are doing our time-tested story dictation, which will be every Monday, every other week. So the instructions are the same as the other times that we do it. I don't need to say them over and over again in the videos, but if you need to read them again, they will be written out on the Google Docs sheet that we have all of our video links on and all of our assignments, and you can find that posted on Class Dojo. So yeah, have fun doing that activity, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I hope you have a great rest of your day.